If your life repeated exactly as it is now for the next 5 years, would you be proud or terrified? What if today isn't ordinary? What if today is the episode your future self screams at you not to waste? Right now, someone with less talent than you is winning because they stayed disciplined when you hesitated. Right now, comfort is negotiating with your destiny, and it's winning, quietly. Discipline doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives disguised as boredom, as routine, as saying no again and again when no one is watching. Most people wait for motivation. Anime taught us better. The strongest characters don't train when they feel inspired. They train when they feel empty. Every time you delay the work, you're voting for the life you don't want. Every excuse you repeat becomes a chain around your future freedom. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent when quitting feels reasonable. Your goals don't care how tired you are. Your dreams don't pause because life is hard. They're waiting for proof that you want them badly enough. This moment is asking you a question. Will you rise or reset the alarm and forget this feeling? Because discipline begins when excuses end. What habits are silently destroying the future you say you want? Discipline isn't lost overnight. It leaks slowly. One skipped workout, one delayed task, one lie you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes regret. Here's the truth no one likes to hear. Your life is perfectly designed to match your daily habits, not your intentions, not your goals, your habits. You don't lack time, you leak focus. You don't lack opportunity, you lack structure. Discipline is doing what needs to be done long after the excitement dies. That's why most people never escape average. They quit during the quiet episodes. Anime protagonists train in isolation arcs for a reason, because growth happens away from applause. Every disciplined action strengthens your identity. Every lazy decision rewrites it. You don't need confidence. Confidence is earned after discipline. Start small. One task, 1 hour, one promise you refuse to break, because the person you're becoming is built in these invisible moments.
Are you willing to work when no one will ever applaud you? This is the grind arc, the one no one celebrates. You wake early, you stay late. Results lag behind effort. Doubt grows louder, but discipline speaks softly. Again. You repeat, you refine, you endure. Discipline isn't intensity, it's loyalty to your goals. You don't need massive change, you need daily obedience. Show up tired, show up unsure, show up anyway. Because every rep builds mental armor, every routine sharpens focus, every sacrifice compounds. This is where most quit, which is exactly why you shouldn't.
What if wealth isn't money, but control over your time and focus? Wealth isn't luck, it's leverage. The disciplined build skills, skills build value, value builds income. Rich people don't work harder forever, they work smarter earlier. They automate discipline, they systemize habits, they remove decision fatigue. Do the hard things once so life becomes easier forever. Discipline buys freedom, freedom buys options, options buy peace. That's the real currency.
What if the reason you don't trust yourself is because you keep breaking promises to yourself? For a long time, discipline felt like punishment, like something forced, like something only strong people were capable of. But here's the twist no one tells you early enough. Discipline isn't about controlling your life. It's about finally respecting it. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," and don't, you teach yourself that your word doesn't matter. Every goal delayed becomes another reason your confidence cracks. Confidence doesn't come from hype. It doesn't come from motivation videos or sudden inspiration. It comes from evidence, from proof that when you say you'll do something, you actually do it. That's why discipline changes everything. Because discipline rebuilds trust with yourself. The moment you start keeping small promises, something shifts. You wake up when you said you would. You train even when no one sees it. You finish the task instead of abandoning it halfway. And slowly, the noise fades. The anxiety quiets down. The self-doubt loosens its grip. Because deep down, you know something powerful now. You can rely on yourself. Discipline isn't restriction, it's alignment. It aligns your actions with your goals, your habits with your future, your present self with the life you want to live. This is where people get it wrong. They think discipline steals freedom, but undisciplined people are trapped. Trapped by impulse, by procrastination, by regret. Discipline removes chaos. It removes decision fatigue. It removes the constant stress of "I should be doing more." And in that space, freedom appears. Freedom to focus. Freedom to choose long-term over short-term. Freedom to build something that lasts. Here's the advice that changes everything. Stop trying to become disciplined forever. Just become disciplined today. Win the morning. Complete the one task you've been avoiding. Say no to one distraction. That's it. Discipline is built in moments, not milestones. And every time you show up, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. This is the real twist. The disciplined life isn't harder, it's lighter. Because when you respect yourself, you stop negotiating with your potential.
When your story ends, will it say you chose comfort or courage? This is the final arc. Not the end, but the awakening. Most people drift through life hoping things change. They wait for clarity. They wait for confidence. They wait for the right moment. But disciplined people understand something different. The moment doesn't come. You create it. Every day, life hands you a quiet choice. Sleep in or rise early. Scroll or build. Excuses or execution. These choices don't look heroic in the moment. No music plays, no one claps. But stacked together, they decide everything. Discipline is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Not overnight, not in one breakthrough, but through relentless consistency. Here's the truth about legacy. It's not built at the finish line. It's built in the habits no one saw. The nights you worked while others rested. The mornings you trained while others delayed. The standards you held when it would have been easier to quit. That's what separates those who wish from those who become. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to act despite fear. You don't need perfect conditions. You need non-negotiable standards. Set them now. Decide what you do every day, no matter what. Decide who you refuse to become again. Because discipline compounds, effort stacks, identity solidifies. One day you look back and realize you're standing in a life you once only imagined. Not because you were special, but because you were consistent. And here's the final truth. Discipline doesn't just change your schedule, it changes your self-image. You walk differently. You speak with certainty. You move with purpose. You don't chase motivation anymore. You command yourself. This is what people mean when they say earned confidence. It can't be faked. It can't be borrowed. It's built. So choose courage today. Choose structure. Choose discipline. Because comfort fades, excuses expire, but the disciplined life, it leaves a mark. And when your final episode plays, make sure it tells the story of someone who showed up. The moment you stop negotiating with yourself, you become unstoppable.